Welcome to the dojo, baby, man. Week to take it. Funny part being is you don't even realize your potential. You're strong enough to have it all. What I would compare it to is there's a version of me that never dropped a YouTube video. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? 340,000 subscribers later, over 50 million on YouTube alone. And there's a version of me, 50 million views. Is a version of me which never posted a YouTube video. Because you know why you can't imagine that? Because I'm the version of me which chose to put that motherfucking work in. So the same way, just imagine your life. Like if you just did everything you knew you were supposed to do and you acted on every ambition you had. Now mind you, I'm also guilty and a victim of coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome. Man, I could have did this. I should have did that. And if I knew this, then I would have did. Coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome. But the only way I get my vaccine for coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome, the only way I maintain my health from coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome is by making sure I have listed out things I want to do daily that contribute to long-term goals. And if my day is not being oriented or positioned in a way that's contributing to those long-term goals, I'm not living right. And it's that simple. I don't know if I'll be as powerful as you didn't. Let me tell you, bro. Cordy's live stream posted. All the last VODs are posted, except maybe like one or two. How can I get out of my own head like the other half of my mind? You can't. Your head is always going to be there. The doubt is always going to be there. The fear is always going to be there. Are you strong enough to look that motherfucker in the face and say, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's what I wake up and say every day. I'm tired. Like, we're going to get this chicken. And I'm telling you, it's not a feel. It's really not a feel. It actually feels terrible. If until you build that momentum, you start enjoying what you do. You start enjoying the hustle. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep yourself hungry. I'm gonna be honest. That's probably the hardest trick in the book. Is how do you keep yourself hungry? How? And if you ask me, I think it has something to do with like out of sight, out of mind. So like if your goals are in sight, like if the bar you're setting is consciously always on your mind, then it'll keep you hungry. If you kind of forget why you started, if you forget where you want to go, if you forget the purpose and the reason it's important to go there, then you might get complacent because you're more focused on how you feel. You're more focused on the comfortability and the instead of the destination. How do you get over the learning curve, have a 9-to-5 job, switching to what you're doing now, like concept creation for entrepreneurship? Let me see. I don't want to tell you that because that's like more so like the genius fallacy. Study, bro. You gotta be a student of. You gotta be a good student, man. That's a question that maybe like y'all need better questions. That's literally what it is. Like asking me a question like that. It's like asking a lion how do you grow claws? Like your claws just grow. Like a better question would have been how do I maximize my day or my time with my 9-to-5 job to attain my goal? You don't even seem to have a goal. What the fuck is get over the learning curve of what? Having to switch from a job to what you're doing now. You take it one day at a time. That's the simple answer. I don't think that's what you're looking for. That answer is not going to change your life. So y'all just don't be asking good enough questions. Like, what is it that you really need to know? You're so used to this fluff. What's the fluff of that answer, bro? My 9-to-5 pay between 150 to 300K. People sleep on 9-to-5. I only study for 6 to 12 months for it. I mean, thank God I make what I make, but I take purpose and I like combining it with income. So you know what I'm saying? And people, when you mentioning why people sleeping on 9-to-5, it's some great 9-to-5s. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon before any of this. That's more like a 12 to 12, I think. What does the genius fallacy mean? The genius fallacy is when people assume, like, people just make up stuff like, that's a God given gift. That person is gifted. And because they're gifted, I just don't have it. And then that's what people use to convince themselves not to do something, to try something. Like, for example, it'll be a day, right? I can play 10 plus instruments. I can read music quick as fuck. I don't even have to compare that my future self. Let's talk about my current self. Playing 3 instruments, working on learning music, etc. Successful career and all this. People will look at that and be like, oh my God, he's so talented. But really, talent is like crafted, bro. Talent is crafted. Dexterity, the fact I could play 2 instruments at the same time in different instruments, piano, guitar, voice, and all that. That shit is currently still being crafted. But people will look like, yo, my God, that's so talented. Talent is crafted, bro. But it's the genius fallacy to assume I rolled out the bed and I just like was good at the guitar. I rolled out the bed and just was super tough on the piano. Like I ain't sit there last night for today. I had lessons. First went to guitar and then piano and vocals after. But that shit was from 1:45 to 5:30 today. Then got home, then went to the gym because I know sweating is good for the brain. Being physically active is good for the brain and all that. I don't give a fuck about being super buff and strong. I literally do shit for the purpose and the benefit of how it does for me. So I know that working out and sweating is very good for the brain. And I know I learn a lot, so I need my brain to be in peak shape. I watch what I eat. I make sure I'm getting my protein, my omega-3s, my fucking antioxidants. I'm making sure I'm sustaining my body nutrient-wise. I don't really overbulk with meals. I'm literally going specifically for the nutrients. I take daily vitamins and apply it to the meals I'm eating. Make sure I'm drinking a certain amount of water. Like, why is my life set up like this? Because of I'm a fucking nerd, bro. I'm a nerd. Like, I don't think you understand this, bro. I'm a nerd. I love being a scientist when it comes to shit. It's not like when you find some information that's helpful. I'm trying to tell y'all, like if you can live your life where it's just strictly that, a lot of y'all honestly have a lot of potential. You're very smart. You're very gifted, and it's gifts and talents you can tap into. But I'm going to be honest. The problem is, I don't know what that was in the air. The problem is, there are so many distractions right now, bro. I find myself, not as much anymore because I had to develop that strength to say, turn that shit off. I find myself, oh, damn, what's this story? What's this post in this person's close friends? What's this new tweet? What's this trending thing? I like it's so much available. Nowadays, more than ever, you need a very strong filter. That's what I would say has developed most in me as a person in the last 3 months than in my entire life. My filter has become so strong. Only certain shit get through my filter. I got my watch later tab in YouTube is full of shit that just can help me learn about music and get better. If I'm looking at my phone and my last videos and screenshots and posts and recordings, and when I'm scrolling at something, my filter is so strong I can catch myself on social media and be like, what the fuck why am I here? Like, what am I looking at? Like, all right, you looking at somebody like what's for the purpose? Like my filter is like an alarm system. Like, yo, turn the phone off, get off the phone. And you're not just going to have that rolling out of the bed. That's not going to be there. I'm trying to tell you. Like, I was a point in time, I'd be wasting time just scrolling, just wandering like a drone. But I think a practical way to develop that, start setting alarms before you open the app. Like, all right, I'm 5 minutes, I'm about to scroll. And as soon as this alarm going off, I'm going to my next thing on my to-do list. Mind you, I was one of those people. I hated to-do lists. I hated, scheduling my day hour by hour and shit like that. I still don't do that. But I like having a to-do list, and I like knowing what I'm going to do in what order. Because again, chat, out of sight, out of mind. So if I keep my fucking, to-do list in a book, mind you, I keep that shit. Some people put it on their phone. I like writing shit down. I like writing. So it's like I like physically scratching things off. Like, all right, boom, knock this out. Boom, knock this out. Boom, knock this out. Boom, knock this out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So And it helps keep me focused because it's like when I'm scrolling, I'm like, you know what am I supposed to be doing right now? And I look at my to-do list and that shit might say Patreon video, Patreon DMs. It might say, remind me shit that I might have forgot. Because again, remind, out of sight, out of mind. y'all gotta really design y'all day. Y'all gotta be super tight, bro. It's so hard. It's so hard to be successful. It's so hard to be productive nowadays. You have to be you have to be stricter than ever. I don't know how old you are. I don't know what's going on in your life. So what? That's a huge spiritual principle. So what? Oh, I had a bad one. So what? Oh, I seen it. So what? Start saying so what to anything that come your way and just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Hit yourself with that so what and then focus on your next step or your next action. And this is an aggressive mentality or a mindset that I have now that was formed, that was like built. You're not just going to wake up with this, because what are you going to wake up with? What are you going to see? You're going to see negative shit on social media. Already you being here is doing something for yourself because you listen and you taking this in. But I'm telling you, y'all know what's out here, and we react to a lot of shit. So y'all know what we be seeing. We be seeing bullshit sometimes. We slip into the entertainment world. We slip in to have fun, try different shit. Cool, it's fun. But y'all realize a lot of these motherfuckers are benefiting off of y'all staying the same by being distracted. Respectfully, a lot of these people are my friends. So I don't even say to disrespect them. It's just the way things are. So you have to be very conscious. Yes, I watch movies. Yes, I do have leisure time, but I'm super specific about it right now. I can't even tell you the last time I turned my TV on. Only time I watch some shit that's like distracting or like a break is like when I'm eating. Like if I'll throw something on while I'm eating. Like, how can I overcome feelings of boredom and disinterest? You shouldn't be bored. You should never be bored, bro. You should never be bored. That idle time, that boredom, it's just lack of foresight, lack of vision. And mind you, this is what I'm saying. I'm a victim of coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome too. This shit had me, man. I was sick. You know, I had to get my vaccine for coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome. So coulda, shoulda, woulda syndrome. When you start getting really, like decisive, you start really locking in with your day and your time. You look back and be like, yo, where the fuck would I be if I had this same work ethic? This is honestly not a good thought because you don't want to look backwards. You're not going that way. You're not moving backwards. But it's just a thought that comes to the mind, right? And scratch that to the side. Boredom and all that shit is like you don't have high enough goals, I would think. Like you don't have foresight. Like you're not looking ahead far enough. Because I can look ahead far enough, right? To where I say, you know what? I know what kind of musician I want to be. I know how big I want my page and my channel to be. I need to be doing actions that support that goal. If I don't have no goals or no aim or no bar set, right? You cannot hit something you're not aiming at. It's this common sense. All I'm doing is reminding you. It's not the mind-blowing information. But it's like you got to constantly remind yourself. Why am I live right now? Like, obviously, I'm enjoying being live, but I want to spend time with the community. I want to make sure I'm consistent, putting my name in the hat for the day. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I'm putting myself out there, growing myself, and doing everything to do to build my brand and interact with the world in the way I choose to. What am I going to do after the stream? Damn right if I go touch that guitar. Damn right if I go touch that piano. Look at the apps I got on my phone, bro. Hold on. Hold on. Let me show you one of the most recent ones. Is it on this phone? I don't see it. I got this shit right. As I'm learning like theory, right? I got this shit. And it's like it's like teaching me the note positions, bro. Mind you, somebody got fucking Temple Run or some bullshit on their phone or you know, downloading Instagram and Twitter and all this bullshit. But you got the tools are out here, chat. The tools are out here. The shit we have access to with the internet is crazy. Listen, let me show you what I just seen. Dog, you could find performances, video. I'm telling you, there's so much shit on the internet. I seen a fucking 50-minute video right before I started the stream too when I was eating, and it was on the side of my joint. It was a 50-minute video of a guy who has all the tracks from a Michael Jackson song. I can't remember which one it was. And he's breaking through and going through every track. I'm assuming the guy's like a producer or an engineer or something. But he's going through every track. Where the fuck is that video? Oh, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, original studio, multiple tracks, and rare home demo. And he's breaking 50 minutes. You best believe I'm fucking watch that shit. That's on the same YouTube that I can watch fucking Coco Melon on or some random bullshit to distract me. You know what I'm saying? What app I'm learning acoustic? Well, you want to start by playing a lot. There's nothing that's going to beat time on an instrument, bro. You know what I'm saying? I only really started taking theory really seriously once I started learning how to play. You cannot get past playing. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I really got jetpack joyride. No, I'm gonna be honest, bro. And y'all see on my earlier posts of YouTube is Fortnite videos, gaming videos, and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest, because I'm not an esports professional gamer. I feel like anytime I played a game, I wasted my life. But there are a lot of different other wastes in life. Like I could argue certain women I mess with. I can argue certain parties I went to. Like obviously, it is what it is. But now I'm more conscious of what I'm doing. So I'm only playing the game if I'm playing it on stream because I'm getting paid. I'm only doing this like you gotta start. How do I want to word this? You gotta start getting more bang for your buck. Let every decision be a bang for your buck. Like, let me give y'all an example. Y'all know how I post them singing videos, niggas be roasting, niggas be talking trash? That's a huge bang for my buck. Not only is it building a callus towards criticism and negativity that I already have, but it's making it stronger. But I'm recording myself to be able to review my like what I hear. I'm keeping track of my growth to notice results and actually see, am I improving or am I not? Then on top of that, it's giving me a reference. Because now I can look back and say, all right, what do I want to change about this? And I may look back on that 3 months before. Then I may look back on that, etc. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want the most bang for your buck in your decisions, bro. What is this stream doing? Boom, not only am I sharing information with y'all, but this is helping me too. Because it's like, it's keeping me in that mindset or that state of mind where I'm focused on the grind. I'm focused on what's important. So as soon as I end stream, I already got the momentum that I came into the stream with. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm getting paid. Then, like, you know what I'm saying? It's get more bang for your buck out of decisions, bro. Nah, did I miss the stream? I'm still live. Please use your brain. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I'm was a heavy gamer. But it got to come to a point where you start rebuilding your whole character, bro. We going to use the lingo that we going to use. You got to start rebuilding your whole character. Your whole identity has to break. Like, you cannot see yourself as the same person you were in the last week, let alone the last month or 6 months or a year. There's nothing the same about me. I shouldn't be able to recognize myself. I mean, outside of a level of, like, you know, principles and morals and you know, stuff like that, that's at the core of who I am. But when it comes to how I talk, what I talk about, what I know, nothing should be the same. How I see myself definitely shouldn't be the same. And that's a lot of people's biggest limiters. A lot of people's sense of self or their image of themselves is so outdated. Like, could you imagine having an iPhone 12 with the oldest iPhone update? Your shit would be glitching. That's your life. Your life is continually upgrading a new iPhone every year. Keep going by, and you have not updated your shit since 2000 and fucking whatever year you were born, or 19 whatever year you were born. Could you imagine? We have the same. Me and you can be next to each other. And I feel zero anxiety. And your anxiety is making you have a panic attack damn near. And that's because of how you see the world and how I see the world. But more than that, how do I see myself in the world? Right? There's something that people call imposter syndrome. And it's when someone is, let's say you get a new job or you're in a place and you feel like you don't belong there. That's because in your mind, who you think you are does not fit the scenario or the situation. Meanwhile, somebody else is in that same situation, arrogant and confident, or fuck arrogance, but let's just say confident and firm and stable, and they just feel very sure of themselves. It's because of how we view ourselves differently. And a lot of y'all with social anxiety and all types of things like this, is that you allow your social anxiety to control you. So now your comfort zone been small. Your comfort zone been like this little, right? This like a little ass dot, right? And then every time you let your anxiety stop you from talking to a human being or taking a risk or doing something, it just gets smaller and smaller, and then years go by and you have the same level of social anxiety you had when you were 16, except you're 26 now. People scare you just as much as they did. Fear controls you just as much as it did. And the sad part is, hate to break it to you, but your life won't change unless you make it. It does not get better. It does not change. It won't change You have to be the one. That's the best thing, though. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's the best thing that's the best position to be in when you're starting to get your mind right. Because you want the control. I want the control. Because then it's all on me. If I look back on today, right? No, I did Patreon dinners. I'm live right now. I went to lessons and stuff, and then I'm gonna still do stuff after I'm done. And then when I end stream, I'm gonna record a Patreon video, etc. Like if let's just compare two things. If I look back on my last 24 hours and I ain't have shit to show for it, because I'm in control of myself like everyone is, it's on me. The opposite is true though. If I had the most productive fucking day ever, I learned so much today. I achieved so much today. Who do I have to blame? That's what I want. You know, if this was a lazy ass unproductive day, I want to be the person to blame. I don't want to blame nobody else. Because if I say, oh no, my mom had me run here, and then this happened, and I had a bad morning. I couldn't, like, your life is just out of control. When you have no control over yourself, that's where anxiety dwells, because it's like you feel like a victim. I don't feel like a victim. What I say? There ain't no such thing as pressure when I'm the one applying it. Fuck you mean pressure? You nervous? You anxious? About what? Nigga, I'm the pressure. I'm the pressure. I'm the one applying it. It ain't getting applied to me. Are there any underlying factors or past experience that could be contributing to my lack of interest in maintaining relationships? I don't know your life. That's called shadow work. Digging into your past, digging into your subconscious, digging into the motivations behind your subconscious. Why do I have an extreme fear of approaching women or job interviews? Where does that come from? Well, guess what? You know what the perfect thing is? There's somebody who's been watching your life since the day you were born. It's called you. You know what I'm saying? Dig into that. Be curious about that. Be bored enough, think slow enough to figure out those answers. And what do you do after that? Exactly. I can't answer that question. But I'm about to ban this motherfucker in the chat. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all be trolling. The whole time it might not be a woman or some bullshit. Anyway, we locked in. What do you do after that? That's on you. Exactly. So what? That's the key. Whatever you do after that is going to decide the trajectory of your life, the direction of your life. That's the important part. That's the most important question. So what do you do after you know? Do you change it? Do you get rid of it? Do you stay the same? You know, because it's one thing to be ignorant of a problem. It's one thing to not know, to be unaware. But then when you have the awareness, now you have the freedom. All right, so what am I going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if my roof is leaking and I don't even know, and I wake up and my whole floor is flooded, that's like, what could I have done about that? I didn't even know it was leaking. But if I see my shit leaking and walk past it and don't put a bucket under it, or I don't patch the hole up, when the whole floor is flooded, who do I have to blame? But the real intelligent people look for the leaky roofs, if we're going to keep using this as an example. I find all the cracks and leaks in my roof. I look for the drops. I'm like listening, like, oh, you know what? Boom, spend too much time on social media. Let's put a bucket under there. I start timing if we even ever going to use these apps. Oh, you know what? Let's anxiety stop him from making choices and actions. You know what? Let's be more assertive and start saying fuck fear, and let's start changing how we feel about that shit. Right? The problem is, y'all ready to react to shit? I'm too focused on pursuing women every day. I'm always looking to approach a woman. I waste a lot of time and energy. How do I fix this? Nothing's broken. It's just that your belief system is working for you. So you believe that there's a lot of value in doing what you're doing, which is why you do it. You got to change your belief system and then start believing that there's different actions that are worth your time. That's all we have is belief systems which dictate our actions. So all I've seen is yeah. Advice for a 27-year-old virgin. Got 60 approaches in this month. Got audio of the best ones and still stuck. I never connect with these girls. It's just convo with yourself to your Patreon. As my guy Steve would say, you're doing what's called talking at them instead of talking to them. You're not even treating them like a human being. You're looking at yourself as a 27-year-old version, and you're probably feeling the need to lose your virginity, and you're putting all this pressure on yourself, and you're seeing her as a means to an end, which is the end of your virginity. And instead of like actually dealing with her like a human in present time and enjoying and appreciating life, you're stuck in your head. You could have, it don't matter. You putting in all the work, but you're running in place. That's the thing. You can run fast and hard as shit on a treadmill. You could be running speed breaking limits on a treadmill, and I could be walking and I'll get further than you. That's what you're doing. You're running. I'm evolving right before y'all fucking eyes. I don't think y'all see that. Like, I'm going from not being able to read music, not being able to play any instrument. Mind you, I was in like 8th grade. I used to play drums, trumpet, and trombone, but I used that shit as an excuse to get out of class. Like, I wasn't even taking it that serious. Like, now that I take it serious, it's like y'all are literally watching the evolution of this shit in real time. Motherfuckers, see, niggas make fun of the singing, but if y'all see how I used to play the guitar the first month or 2-3 months when I had that shit, like this, like I'm only 3-4 months working on my vocals, it would not even be worth posting. It wouldn't even be worth posting. But it's the same shit. But it's like, chat, let me tell y'all something. Remember I told y'all when I switched from controller to mouse and keyboard, that same skill made it easier for me to learn to play the piano and do shit at the same time? Let me tell you, when I got used to putting myself out there on YouTube, always up for the one, I appreciate the 8 months. When I got used to putting myself out there on YouTube, it's like that shit calloused. It like gave me calluses on all my levels of confidence. It's like you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me not to do something. You can't stop me from doing anything I want to do. I have no sense of fear. I only go for what the fuck I want. And it's just because it's a habit I've developed to focus on what I want and just to go for that shit, bro. And I want y'all to feel that shit because at a time, anxiety may have slowed me down, or hesitation may have slowed me down, or overthinking, or deciding this or deciding that. But now I'm on a fucking type time, bro. I'm telling you, it's like I can smell my potential. It's not even funny, bro. Like, if y'all knew how I'm using music as a specific example, because yes, you have playing music, but then you got music theory. Let me show y'all something, bro. Let me show y'all something. Just to like show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's just look up a random music sheet. Do y'all see this shit? It's a motherfucker that can look at this shit. Oh, this is in the key of blank. Oh, that note right, bro, listen. And it's a goal of mine to read that shit. And to play twice as good as I am knowledgeable of the of reading the music and the theory. But I know my theory is gonna help my playing, so it's like, all right, why not? You know what I'm saying? You know how to read this in 4th grade? Hey, listen, I wish I got into music early, but I was always into like math and science and getting in trouble outside and dumbass shit like that. But now I haven't read music since since middle school. I think they tried to get us to read back then. But I'm telling you, when you take something for granted, you look back and be like, damn, like I had that shit such and such years ago. Once you start sheet music, it's super easy. Yeah, I'm already knowing like to recognize the positions of the chord, the notes. Todd, could you give some advice on how to not hurt people in relationships? Why would I even answer that question? If they get hurt from anything you choose to do, that's their emotion that they choose to have a reaction to. Why would you want to control another person? I would never advise somebody to do that. I could say the same sentence and word it 10,000 different ways, and 10,000 people get offended on each way I word it. So am I supposed to be a puppet to people's reactions, or say what I mean and mean what I say? I'm not fighting to be understood in life. The one looks like a key. This is an ankh, tree of life. They call it Egyptian symbol. How to better manage and maintain interpersonal relationships. What I'm finding out is that it's the little shit. Like it's calling somebody, it's calling somebody when you're thinking about them. It's texting them, hey, how are you? Is everything all right? And I saw this or commenting under their social media posts like, yo, keep going or blah, 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 was good. I'm be honest, you ask my IRLs, bro, I'm not a good friend. Like, I'm not a good friend. Like, you'll go weeks without seeing me. In the summertime, months even. Damn, a month going by, 2 months go. Like, I'm a bad friend, but guess what? My friends see what I'm doing. I'm live right now. I'm posting videos every day. I'm only going somewhere if I have a purpose to be there. I'm only doing something if it's a purpose to be done. And I think that because I have people in my life that are also hustlers, they understand. It's nothing personal. It's no complaints. And I'm even seeing that my family is honoring this shit too. Because it's like, same thing with my mom, my dad, they all follow me on social media. They all watch my videos, my grandmom and all of them. Like, they see what I'm doing and they respect it and they understand who I am. And they honor that by allowing me to have my distance. But I still make sure I call here and there. I still make sure I check up on them. So, do you see interpersonal relationships as transactional? No. Funny part is when I took one of the major classes was B1 Live. I appreciate the 16 months. One of the classes, right? When I went back on the major, it was relationship communication, and it talked about the dialectic of affection and utility. E-certified. I appreciate the 2 months. I mentioned this to y'all before because I never forgot it. A dialectic means like two, like basically one side and then the other side, like think of like a range, right? One side is right, one side is left. So it was like the dialectic of utility and affection, utility versus affection. So utility is like if you have a relationship and y'all relationship is based on y'all benefit to each other. Affection is based on pure affection, pure like love and care. So like more like a mother to a child. A mother takes care of a child or an infant and that baby can't even do nothing. It's just eating shit and all that. But let's say her boss, like she might only fuck with her boss at work because her boss cuts the check or her boss pays the bills. You know what I'm saying? Or that's the distance between the two. But honestly, all my relationships or I like holding them off loyalty, you know. And there's times that, you know, I do need favors. Like, basically, my most recent favors has been, yo, I'm trying to go somewhere. Can you watch the dog for me? And every time I ask somebody, they show up. You know what I'm saying? It's the utility do come in hand, but it's like when you start building loyalty, y'all don't count favors. Or at least y'all shouldn't count favors. If you got friendships and relationships, y'all counting favors, you couldn't be my friend. You really 5 foot stunner. I appreciate it 3 months, bro. Appreciate you, gang. Yo, if you got a friendship or a friend group and y'all count favors, yo, bro, you owe me $100 and yo, bro, you still owe me. I couldn't even imagine, man. I couldn't even imagine. Holy essays. I'm looking at the chat like, yo, when I'm in a new environment, people think I don't give a fuck what people think. So this sentence is already getting thrown in the trash. How do I change that perception of me? You shouldn't want to. You shouldn't even care. What you'll realize is, and I don't know how much you want to get your head blown off with this, people's perceptions, judgments, lenses that they view life through, like their lens that they view life through is subjectively based on all of their experiences. And honestly, with social media, people don't even need the experience anymore. They just need the information. Oh, I saw a post that said, don't go down 5th Street because 5th Street is dangerous. And they won't ever go on 5th Street. They won't even walk to see what 5th Street is like because social media said don't go on 5th Street. I just had to use a dumbass example. But it's like, you will look at somebody's perception of you, right? For example, and if somebody may be like, oh, you got your ears pierced, that's gay. That's because their parents told them that. Or they watched some show or some bullshit. Whole time you was straight as an arrow and you got 10 piercings on your ears or some bullshit. So people's judgment, people's bias, people's perception is so predictable. You start finding a place of stability when you start looking at everybody like, y'all are drones. And why would I ignore the truth over why would I ignore my reality over your truth? It just doesn't make sense. You start to think like this, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know if y'all see it in my face. Like the idea of anxiety or nervousness or fear is just like so. It's because I trust me. So it's like, if y'all read that book I recommended, right? The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right? It was a part in that book I'll never forget. And he said, in life, problems have levels. Like, there's like a level 4 problem. There's like a level 8 problem. Like, let's say, you know, level 4, a level 4 problem is, I want to approach that girl and she bad as hell and I'm nervous. That's level 4. A level 8 problem is, I just got cut from my job, so I won't be able to pay my rent. Like, that's like a level 8 problem, right? Your level is relative to the level of the problem. So if you're a level 2, then approaching that girl is going to seem hard. But if you're a level 7, then that level 4 problem is easy to you. Right? It's not that life gets easier. It's not that, you know, the challenges that I experience or another person experiences is easier than yours, or they're different, or whatever the case may be. Is that they're stronger than you. They're stronger. So whatever the weight of the situation is, whatever the burden of the situation is, whatever they have to carry or deal with, they're strong enough to deal with it. Why else would somebody else be able to break out in the morning, grind every day, stay consistent, go at it whatever they want without any fear or any doubt, and you are struggling to just get past anxiety? It's the same situation, you know? So I let that quote, strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it. Funny part being is, you don't even realize your potential. You're strong enough to have it all. What I would compare it to is, there's a version of me that never dropped a YouTube video. Could you imagine?